Hey, everybody. We're just waiting on our guest. As usual, there's a few issues with trying to get it together. While we're waiting, I'll just see. Let's look, let's look, let's look, let's look, let's look, let's look. Anyway, I can't find it. So, what's happening tonight is, sorry, I should look at the camera, shouldn't I? What's happening tonight is a lot of the guys are taking a break. The What the F Boys are taking a break. The Cardi Girls are taking a break. And all of them, everyone's taking a break. So instead of trying to find other guests because everyone's on holiday, I actually find it more interesting to bring on people from our community. And tonight we're having Simon O'Rourke on. And he's a muso. This is one of his songs. I'm going to play his song and hopefully he can come on. He's having a few tech issues, as happens like with B yesterday. So this is his song. And we're just going to find out about his story because he's a part of our community. He's been watching Cafe Locked Up for a long time, but he only recently started commenting, and his comments are terrific. And so I reached out to him, see if he wanted to come on for a chat, and he said yes. So here we go.
The beggar man met the Queen of Spain, drinking in a downtown dive. She'd sold her crown and her wedding gown. She was all broke up inside. So he sang her love songs that he'd wrote. She said she played guitar, she couldn't play a note. So she drummed on the table out of time. Songs that she used to know, she sang along flat and out of time. With her Louis Vuitton and her Valium, she had no money to her name. The beggar rocked her in his arms. She was the Queen of Spain. He blew all his dough on a wedding ring, a big gold skull with ruby eyes. But it stayed in the pocket of his old blue jeans, which don't come as no surprise. 'Cause he was just a beggar man. He had no blue blood in his veins. And after all is said and done, she was the Queen of Spain. She was the Queen of Spain. She was the Queen of Spain.
A beautiful little song. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you, I just put this on Twitter just before I bring him in, and fingers crossed his tech's working. And what it is Albo is, they had the shooting on Bondi, and we'll all watch it. It's clearly Muslims, and not every Muslim, but the people, they were Muslim, and yet Albo turns around and goes, "Oh, we've got to worry about those extreme right wingers." And so, who are these extreme right wingers that we call freedom people? And so while all the people are on holiday, why not meet them and sit back and listen to the stories and judge for yourself? Is this man tonight, Simon O'Rourke, dangerous because he doesn't like jumping through Albo's hoops? Well, let's hope. Fingers crossed his microphone works.
Can you
G'day,
hear me?
Simon.
Can you hear?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I can.
I moved to my old phone.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Can you turn your old phone this way?
Yeah.
Will it go yeah.
That better?
That's fantastic.
All right, there
Now,
we go.
you dangerous extreme right winger, you
I am. What you got me right there. I'm a Nazi.
is that human? Is that what's that lamp made out of? Come on, own up.
I'd give you the salute, but they'll put me in jail.
That's right. That's right. We've got to a point we're terrified to change light bulbs. You know, got to.
Yeah, it makes me furious.
Okay, I'm going to start with what I'm starting. What were you doing? And then people might get bored of this, but I love it because COVID changed our lives. There was AC and BC before COVID, after COVID. So the other way around, BC, AC.
Yeah.
What were you doing before you'd even heard of the C word? Where were you in Australia? And what was your life like? Who were you?
Well, I was just a tradie and a muso, just going about my business. I didn't ask the government for anything. I just wanted to be left alone. I've never had any money off them. I've just been doing my own thing, making a living, raising some kids, and just minding my own fucking business. And then COVID came along, and the business, the government wants to get into my underpants and into my fucking body and tell me what to do and push me around, and be a big fucking playground bullies.
Why do you have a problem with that? Why can't you just bend over and take it? You know what I mean? What is it?
Well, I thought about it. I thought about, bending over and taking it, and taking it right up the arse. But then I thought, I thought, no. I think you've gone a bit too far here, Mr. McGowan. You can go and fuck yourself, I said to myself.
Oh, yeah. So you're from WA.
Yeah, WA, yeah.
McGowan seemed to be trying to show Klaus that he was as bad as Dan Andrews. Unfortunately, he was pretty close. But, man, your guy was bonkers.
He was a fucking psycho. Hey, Michael, can I briefly just fiddle with my phone and get this on Bluetooth because it's very quiet? Can I do that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Just hang on a second.
Yeah. We're just taking a little bit of tech break here. Here, Jason Cormick. You could replace right wing with white extreme. I have to admit, Jason, last night you almost got to a point where I could not formulate sentences, brother. So one of your comments was just the comment of the night. Here he comes.
I'm back, but it's not working. I don't know why that is.
You got a little headphone you can put in, like something you can plug in and have a headphone?
No, I can just about hear you, but it would be more salubrious if I could hear you through the... Oh, it's fucked. Everything's fucked, Michael. I blame McGowan.
I have to admit there are things like that. So anyway, this is Jason here. You could replace right wing with extreme white wing.
Yeah, well, that's quite nice actually. That's I could live with that. I could live with that.
Thing, I have to admit, not only are you an extreme right wing or whatever, but you're also another quite oppressed group that society wants not to hear from, and that is mature white male. Now, have you done anything to stop being a mature white male? Have you?
Yeah, I'm a complete. C-U-N-T. I mean, have it, would it be known? But I'm so, I don't really give a fuck. I mean, Michael, I live on my own. I work on my own. I don't socialise. Everybody can get fucked. I don't care what they call me. They can fucking call me what they like. I wouldn't know anyway. I don't have a fucking telly. I haven't had a telly since 2005. I mean, which is probably why I didn't fall for their bullshit. Because,
right.
most people I've spoken to who didn't take the magic elixir of life that grants eternal life and entry into heaven prematurely, gives you premature access into heaven. It's the elixir of life.
That's right.
It's safe and effective.
Yeah.
It's safe and effective. Didn't you know that? It's safe and effective.
I think it's safe and effective. The only one is, g'day, Steve. The only one it's safe and effective for is the manufacturers.
Yeah.
They because they're right. It was safe and effective for us. I mean, we didn't take it, but we made $1 trillion. What's wrong with it?
Yeah. And they're safe from liability. But one of my pet peeves is people on our side of the fence who say nobody was forced. That is a load of fucking bollocks. It's a load of bollocks. I mean, if you own a dictionary, just look in the dictionary, and coercement is force.
Yeah.
If you've got a guy with a fucking Luger stuck in your head saying, go and kneel by that pit, otherwise I'll shoot you in the head. Oh, well, that's a nice choice, isn't it? Which will I choose? Will I get shot in the head now, or will I go and kneel by the pit and get shot in the head 5 minutes' time? There was no fucking choice. It was force.
Yeah, no, it was. And the thing was, see, I don't know about you, but I was lucky because my kids were grown, and I didn't have $1 million mortgage. I didn't have this highfalutin job. I was an artist. I was used to being broke. But look, this is what they did to people who didn't want to take it in Melbourne. Now, these are not so I took that just before they shot me with a rubber bullet. That's force.
Oh, he looks nice.
They showed something in Venezuela. Go, look, they've got these bear cats running around. And I was thinking, Venezuela, mate, that's fucking Australia. That's Melbourne, mate. That's Melbourne because, they're shooting grandmothers because they don't want to be saved by the state. So anyway, going back, how would you say you're working on a project? What sort of job do you think you'd do on the project if the owner couldn't sue you, they had to pay you up front, and that was it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a perfect business model, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And this has been going on. I mean, you would know all about it anyway. I mean, I'm preaching to the choir, but it's been going on since 1986 when Reagan indemnified the vaccine companies. And lo and behold, they come up with new vaccines every year. Now the poor little babies are getting stuck with 72, 80-odd fucking injections, right? All of them full of heavy metals. You don't have to be an expert to know that is, probably not a good idea.
Well, that is the point. That's, I think, one of the points is it makes so much sense what you're saying, common sense. And yet so many didn't see it. You know what I mean? That's one. Anyway, we talk about this. Let's get back to you just for a sec. So when it came out, initially, were you
gay man?
Now we're of that age where we came out now, the gay community goes, you know what, we're happier with you in the closet. We like that. We're okay with that. When it first happened, did you believe it initially? I just want to see your journey. Did you believe it, or were you thinking, oh, this looks bad?
So my journey was, I think it was in December of 2019. I sent an email to my ex and it said, there's something fucking going on in China that looks like it's going to be big. I said to her, every time you go to the shops, just buy an extra $50 worth of gear and stick it in the pantry, right?
Yeah.
Because I was watching videos out of Reddit And we've all seen them now. People collapsing in the streets, people in suits fogging the streets, and and all that shit. People collapsing and dying. And I'd read a book in the 1990s about biowarfare, and the author had said it's not a matter of if, but when there'll be a biological weapons release, and millions will die. And his scenario was that it would be a super flu out of China, right? So when this happened, I thought, fucking hell, this is it, right? And I was expecting like millions of deaths. And I tried to warn everybody, oh yeah, whatever. And but like for the first couple of weeks, I really had a close eye on it, because I thought, well, you got the time between transmission and symptoms appearing, right? So I thought it was a real thing.
Yep.
But as soon as it began to manifest the reality of it, I thought, well, this is a nothing burger. It's like, and when they started with all their propaganda, immediately fucking red flags started flying up. And when it came to the vaccine, I was just like, oh, give us a fucking break. This is just a joke. What is this shit, right? And they mandated it, which was a big shock, because I thought it wasn't the fact that they mandated it. It was the fact that they were openly committing crimes against humanity in front of the whole fucking world to see. That really freaked me out.
Yeah.
I thought, I mean, I'm no academic, but, I like to read, and I know a bit about this, and I know a bit about that, and I know a bit about the law, and I know a bit about human rights, and I know a bit about Magna Carta, and I know a bit about, the Nuremberg. And I just thought, they can't do this. This is violating informed consent.
They made the law themselves that they can't do it. They made Nuremberg laws. It was their laws.
So I was trying to convince friends and family, look, this is fucking out of order. You mustn't take this thing. They're committing crimes openly, like with no apparent fear of being caught. And they haven't been, have they? So that shows you that it's a real conspiracy when it involves the judiciary.
They own the medical. Courts. As if you're going to do that with all this power and do everything they're going to do and leave the courts alone so they can just destroy your plan. So, of course, you own the courts. I mean, the judges didn't even have to take it. That's how dangerous the COVID was. If you're a judge, you're completely dispensable. You might get it and die, mate. Well, the judges are a dime. Don't worry about it. So they didn't give it to the judges. And then the judges preside over us, who were up there getting in trouble for being a protest because we didn't want to take it. And we've been adjudicated by judges who didn't take it. Yeah.
It's fucking funny, but it's frightening at the same time. Sorry?
Just going back just a sec. You remember when you're saying Reddit about the Chinese people falling down in the streets?
Yeah.
But you remember soon after that, there was other videos coming out. They'd just be up briefly, and there'd be like Chinese people going, it's all a scam, don't take it. And then there'd be police breaking into their apartment. I saw a few of those, and he's sitting there going, hello?
Yeah. And the propaganda...
You go.
The propaganda videos of them building a hospital in like 5 days, in China and all that. Do you remember that? That was around the time I'm going, oh, there's a bit of the Jimmy Savile element in this whole thing. Like we're being groomed. And you know what they say about Jimmy Savile, don't you? If you let him put his hand on your knee and you don't smack it off, next thing you know, it's up your trousers. That's right. And that's what the government. Yeah, that's what the government are doing. They're like a pedo. They're probing all the time. What can we get away with? Remember when they tried with the monkeypox? monkeypox, because that always reminds me of that Bop song. You know, Mpox, because they changed it to Mpox, didn't they?
Well, we laughed monkeypox into the ether. We just got on and put monkey faces on because with these apps. Me and Len did one. God, it had about 1 million views. You know, I'm saying, oh, they got a virus, and Len's there as a monkey going, "Did you eat my banana?" Everyone was fucking falling down laughing. And
I would eat this banana.
yeah,
I would.
well, he's a muso. He'd probably let you. And there was a but there was others doing the same. I loved them, and we just laughed at. They don't know how to handle humor. I actually thought the guy that came up with monkeypox, he's probably in a gulag somewhere, going, you know.
Yeah.
And so they had sloth. They had a sloth virus, which was so up for jokes, but they got rid of that. But it's a kind of a madness because it's so clear bullshit what they're pushing onto us now. But the issue is people that believe it. This is what separated the community.
That's what when I spoke to you the other day. This element of it being ridiculous is part of the way of breaking your mind.
Nonsense wall.
Yeah, if you can get people to go along with it, what they know is just bullshit.
Yeah.
Then you've broken them like you break a horse.
Yeah.
And then they'll go along with the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. It's just don't pick me, Just pick that other Jew in the line.
Yeah,
and I'll survive another day.
Yeah,
you know that's
like
why
Schindler's List. That's Schindler's List. There's a part in there's a young kid that was going to get killed by the Ralph Fiennes guy, and then Ralph Fiennes lets him go. And he walks back to the camp, and Ben Kingsley is walking, and then you see Ben Kingsley hunch his shoulders because the kid's on the floor. He's been shot. But Ben doesn't even look at the kid. He knows he's there, glances down, but he just keeps walking. He doesn't get angry, doesn't do anything. Oh, I avoided that one. I think a lot of people are doing that. Oh, the vaccine didn't hurt me, so I'm okay. And they don't give a shit about the other ones that have been hurt.
Yeah,
you know, this
I think because what they've done, there's an underlying latent fear in society, an energy, a vibe of terror, and this is what every totalitarian regime does. They bring about a feeling of terror that's just bubbling underneath the surface.
Yeah.
And a lot of people we can't, as awake people or whatever you want to term, we look at these people and we think, how the fuck do they not know that something is wrong? But I think they do.
Yeah.
I think they're just like, they just got their head down and they're hiding from it. They can't face it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you were saying the other day about people who've lost, the whole family to the jab, and like they still won't condemn it.
Which makes you think, so they won't attack the killers of their family, and it's democide, really. And
it's what
they do that because they're still in survival mode. And it killed all my family, but I'm still alive, so hopefully the government will let me go. And when B. Winfield was mentioned last night, it's the most baffling thing from the last 5 years is, where's the rage? I mean, you're being, but some people know, like the most incredible interview I did was a guy called Robin. He said, I want to have my say. It was like 9 o'clock at night. I was really tired. I was in Bendigo Caravan Park, and he did the interview in a sort of, one of those camp kitchens. And 3 of his 5 kids have myocarditis. 2 of them are on pacemakers, and he just found out the day before that his daughter was now going to have a pacemaker the rest of her life. And he knew it was the jab. He knew that chances are he was feeling strange things, so he could be next. And there was no anger. There was what he said was, yes, well, you just have to deal the cards you've been dealt, and we've been dealt jokers. I thought, no, the government is slaughtering your kids, mate, your legacy. They're killing them. And for some reason, you're going, shame I got the jokers. It's like it didn't make human sense. Now, you got 2 kids. Now, if someone injured one of your kids, what's the response? Have you got a daughter?
Well, I've got 3 kids. Two of them are approaching, they're in their late 20s. They both got jabbed 3 times, despite me begging them not to. I've got a son who's 18 and he didn't take it. He listened to me. And I am fucking mad as fucking hell, mate. I mean,
You're on the outside,
they appear to be okay.
Good.
But I can tell you, Michael, I have done my grieving over the last 5 years. I've grieved for them like they are dead, because I don't see anybody getting away with this, who took it. I think it's just, it's just ticking away, and boom, cancer, boom, heart failure, whatever.
Yeah. Blood clot.
It's a very clever, insidious, evil biological weapon.
Yeah.
And I'm mad as fucking hell. I tell you who I'm really fucking mad at is my ex-wife, their mother, because all of the poison dripping that she did throughout, we split up when they were fairly young, and all the poison dripping that she's done through the years, and all the bullshit and the lying and about child support, and he doesn't pay for this and he doesn't pay for that and he doesn't pay for the other, which is all bullshit. One of my daughters thinks the sun shines out my ass, loves me, but the other one I'm estranged with because she's taken it all on board. And when it really fucking counted that they trust their dad, it had all been undermined. It had all been undermined. Noah fucking built the ark, but it was no fucking good if the family didn't get on it, was it? All the effort would have been for nothing. And, it sounds weird, but I've been building an ark. I could see something like this coming a long time ago. And I got myself into a position where I was waiting, I was ready for it. And I could have supported them right the way through that. It wouldn't have mattered. My daughter said to me, "But Dad, I'll lose my job." I said, "Fuck your job. Get another job, or I'll support you." But they went and got it 3 fucking times. And then you know what the biggest kick in the bollocks is, Michael? My eldest daughter got pregnant with my grandson after being jabbed. And I was obviously very nervous about it, what was going to happen. But she had the baby, and a week before the baby was born, my other daughter and her mother asked me to go around to their house and do some, fix some things for them. And on that day, I'd been on a Facebook group, and there was a grandmother complaining that she wasn't allowed to see her newborn grandchild because she refused to take the DPT injection. I didn't know anything about it. And I said to them,
whooping cough?
Yeah, a diphtheria, whooping cough, and tetanus, and a trivalent vaccine. And I said to them, "What's this about this DPT vaccine?" They said, "Oh, yeah, no, you won't be able to see the baby for a couple of months." And I went, "What?" And my eldest daughter didn't even talk to me about it. She didn't even give me an opportunity to get it. I mean, she knew that I wouldn't get it. And if she'd have talked to me, I mean, obviously I would have tried to talk sense into her, but I would have tried to negotiate something amicable, like, let me see him through the window, or I'll wear a mask, or I'll wear a fucking spacesuit. I'll wear the Apollo 11 fucking spacesuit, and you can spray me with fucking Dettol, right, for the whole time with a fucking garden sprayer, right, because I'm a danger to the baby, right?
Yeah.
So the baby was born. I couldn't see the baby, and then after a couple of months, not not the mother of my grandson, but the other daughter said to me, "Hey, Dad, when are you going to come and see the baby?" And I said, "Well, what baby?" And she said, "Oh, come on, Dad, and I said, Michael, I thought I'd be able to handle it, but that was the fucking straw that broke the camel's back for me. After everything we've been through, that fucking cunt Bill Gates got into my fucking home, into my family, and separated me from my grandson. And the weapon he used was my daughter. And we're still estranged. I've never met my daughter or my grandson. And he's coming up for 3 years old. And that's what these bastards are doing. And people say to me, "Oh, Simon, you should be the man. You should be the big man and just go around and see your grandson and just do this and just do that." How about my daughter just says to me, "That was a bit rough, Dad, can we sort this out?" No, nothing. Just radio silence. And this is what these bastards are doing to us. We've got fucking 10,000 years of like I said to my daughters, when you were born, we passed you around like fucking past the parcel. It was in the fucking 1990s.
Absolutely. I mean, strangers would come up. I used to be a waiter when I was younger, and the waiters would come up and touch the babies. Waiters.
Yeah.
And we were young little sluts. We were getting into everything. And we come up, no one gave a shit. You know what I mean? It's just babies were handed around. It was now, and I hate to say, I'm not putting down what's happened to you at all, but I've had so many grandparents come up and tell me that, and they all break because it's like Christmas, Simon. Christmas in Australia, I'm sorry if you've heard me say this before. Say we were brothers, right? And we didn't stand each other. We didn't like each other's haircut. And we're coming in, but on Christmas, because we still got a mum, we suck it up and we turn up and I go, "G'day, Simon." And going, "Yeah, Mick." And we grit our teeth the whole way through, and then we leave and know we might see each other for another year. But we do that out of love. Love is more important than our own ego. And it's family. The family is more important than our own ego, so you put up with it. And then Koshi gets on the TV and says, "What are you going to do with your unvaccinated people?" And the other fucking herd, they kicked our community out of Christmas. Yeah. Christmas was a prayer, an Australian prayer to the love of family, an Australian prayer to family. Not God, not this, it was family. And Koshi got them out of their fear. I still see people tear up when they talk about, there was one woman in, I won't go on forever, launching, where's that bloody place we went to? Lightning Ridge. She lives on a property. She had to sit on the veranda because the family wouldn't let her in for Christmas. It's their daughter. She came out of the mother. The father made her, and she's sitting on the veranda alone. For what?
Do you reckon they burn with shame now, these people?
No, they don't give a shit. They don't care. They go, "What are you on about? Get over it." Because they don't want to deal with it. It's like what I said yesterday. They've been medically raped. They don't want to deal with it. They don't. And what's in them? The most beautiful story is Tom Vogel was telling me he had a mate in his car once driving him somewhere. His mate was jabbed. And the mate suddenly said, "What's in this stuff, Tom? I've given it to all my family. We're always sick, constantly sick. And one gets sick for a week, another one gets sick for a week. No, we're just constantly unwell. There's something in us. What is it?" And Tom didn't know what to say. He didn't know what to say. But there's this guy in silence opening up to his only friend, brave enough to speak out because Tom's a trooper. He just speaks out all the time with what the fuck. He doesn't care. He's beautiful about him.
Oh, I see. You got the what the fuck guy.
Yeah, Tom Vogel. Yeah, he's great. Yeah, he's fantastic.
I listen to him occasionally.
Yeah,
I've been, but you've been my mainstay through the apocalypse. I've been like I tell you, I've been a lurker. I've been lurking in the comment section, not just reading the comments, but not commenting. You know, I'm like, you know,
Well, that's what
lurking.
I saw you
Yeah.
suddenly. You had that great picture, which I love with the banjo. You had that great picture, and then suddenly you're making these comments, and it's like I've tried to get Jason on. I've tried to get a few others on. Jason might come on a bit later. He's hilarious, but your comments were succinct. They were Christian. I'm trying to get on too, and others, but they were just great comments. So it was an honor when you came on, because the thing is, this is how
the honor's all mine, Michael. The honor's all mine to be on.
We fight back. This is how we fight back. We're going to say whatever the fuck we want to say, and if you don't like it, fuck off or throw us in jail.
That's it.
But we ain't shutting up.
Look, I'm your consummate loner. I mean, I don't know what loneliness is. It doesn't enter my vocabulary. I'm happiest when I love people, I love visitors, but I'm happiest when they leave. I'm like, back to normality, right? Yeah, now, what the fuck was I doing before they came? And so, but I've got this feeling in me that it's time. You know, it's the time to start meeting and connecting with people who've been, you know, in the trenches. Yeah. Because I don't think it's over. I think that was just the opening scene.
Oh yeah, great. Yeah, I agree. In fact, I think we're stronger now. I think we're more resilient. I think we're tough, and we've had a few problems, but you remember we've sprouted up organically. No leadership, no brigades, no anything. And one of the reasons of getting you on now is and getting B and others like this. I've done a few of these now. Is we're being painted as cookers, anti-vaxxers, right-wing extremists, sovereign citizens. And so this is the way of showing Australia, well, look, here's one. This is who Albo wants you to hate. Albo wants you to be frightened of Simon, terrified of Simon. Don't worry about the Muslims shooting up the beach. They're just an aberration. You know, just because, you know, and but really be frightened of Simon. He's the real threat to a democracy and all this because he likes to have his own opinion and he doesn't need people. He can stand alone. We can't have that. We need everybody sucking off the tit of the government. You have to look like the piglets with a big pig. That's what we want.
Do you remember a few months or last year when Four Corners did that show on sovereign citizens?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Right. And they linked sovereign citizens with anti-vaxxers and then domestic terrorism, right? And said it's only a matter of time before these people get violent. And then, like about a week after that show, the Attorney General, I'm not sure if he was the state Attorney General or the federal one. I think it was the federal one. But he came on. He was interviewed on ABC as well, and he was talking shit about sovereign citizens and how they were a danger to everybody, and they're going to cause people to lose confidence in the state. Well, I've got something to say to him. It's not us who are causing a loss of confidence in the state. It's fucking you and what you fucking did. You poisoned people with a fucking biological fucking weapon. Yeah. Now, if that doesn't make you lose confidence in the state, you're fucking nuts. So I want to say that to him, Sir, Attorney General, right? I'm not a fucking danger to Australia. You are.
Yeah.
I'm minding my own fucking business, running a business for 30 years, never asked the government for a fucking red cent, right? Don't go to fucking hospital, never ask for fucking anything. And you want to say that I'm a danger to this country? You need your fucking bumps read, mate. You're a fucking idiot. Go and live in fucking Cuba, will you?
Yeah.
Do us all a favour.
Well, look, you got to think of Epic, right? Now, initially, the police commissioner of the ACT said, there was about 6,000 or 10,000. He lied. He lied to the Parliament in the Senate thing. So he lied. When we were covering Paul's truck case, Michael and Paul in their truck,
Yeah.
we were covering that. The police themselves on the stand said there was thousands there, hundreds of thousands, and one said, "Oh, there was 1 million easy."
Yeah.
So these were in charge of that parade. So they would have been the one who told the police commissioner, "Oh, there's thousands," and the police commissioner decided to lie. Unbelievable. So, but now it's on record, and in that Sovereign Citizen documentary, that fella said it was the biggest protest in Canberra history. So they now have come out and admitted that there was at least 1 million people there. How many stores were looted? How many shops were burned? Was any police officer manhandled? Nothing. We came there with love. We came there with decency. We came there to say common sense. Listen, guys, I think it's okay to bring out the vaccine for those people who want to take it, but those who don't want to take it, why don't you just leave us alone? If we die, we die. We're sick. It's our problem. We don't need you in our veins. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And that's it. And but we're good people. We're good, you know?
Well, look, it's not only good, but the salt of the earth, right? Cometh the hour, cometh the man. You don't know the quality of a man until you put him into an ultra stressful situation.
That's right.
Right? A life or death situation. Then you see who's got the balls to stand up. And the fucking women have been fantastic. I mean, there's
100%.
way more women.
Yeah.
And, I talk to guys all the time who took it. I talk to guys all the time who took it, and they're like, what could you do? I've got a fucking mortgage and all that. And I'm like, well, how do you feel about it now? What would you do if they came up with another jab that you got to have, otherwise you can't have your job? And that's where the anger is, Michael. They all get really angry, and so they can fuck off, right? Yeah. They feel like they've been had big time, and I think.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, go ahead.
I think they're the great hope. I think the normies will win this war.
Yeah,
they'll push it too far, and they'll just like shut down.
Yeah,
and the economy will go down the gurgler.
Yeah,
right. If they try to pull that mandate shit, because I reckon there's about, I reckon the numbers that they give are too high too. I reckon about a third resisted all around the world.
Yeah,
some countries more.
Barry Young from New Zealand, the guy that released the data. He's got the data. He can prove that he reckons it's about 70%. So you're right. It's about a third didn't take it. And we meet them all the time. People not even in the movement, they come up and they go, yeah, I didn't take it. I had a falsie, whatever they did, however they did to get through it. So they are there.
Yeah. So these things always go in thirds, because if you look at old social experiments, like, there was the one where they would get somebody to turn a dial to give somebody behind a screen an electric shock.
Oh, yeah. That
and a third loved it. They were cranking it up. They're the people who were calling for us to be put in concentration camps and banning us from Christmas. That's that third. Yeah. Then you had a third that flat out refused. No, I'm not fucking doing that. That's us. Yeah. But the third in the middle did it under duress. They were fucking crying and bloody pleading, and I don't want to do it. Fucking do it. Okay. And if you get that third to join our third the next time, it's all over.
Yeah.
It's all over.
That's right. I think we saw that in The Voice, the vote for The Voice. I think that was a protest vote against the government. They didn't have a camera in their face. No one threatened their job, and they got there and they wrote no. What they really wrote was fuck you. That's what they really did with their tick. And Albo, and there they were pontificating about, oh, you're racist, oh, you're this, fuck off. Yeah.
So what they were saying when they put their no cross on the paper was, hey, I'm a Nazi, and I don't give a fuck.
Who knew? I remember when we were in when we had we had a good joke in the early marches in Melbourne, the really early marches where people were calling us Nazis. We're marching through the streets of Melbourne and they're going, they're Nazis, they're Nazis. I said, if Hitler had known that there was this many Nazis in Australia, he wouldn't have committed suicide. He would have fucking emigrated. And, you know, and restarted the thing here because, you know, Australia is full of these Nazis. I mean, it's just, even the Nazi thing that we see is bizarre. You know, here's the leader of this new Nazi party, and he just happens to be walking through a park on his way back from the court. He decided to walk home, and he just happens to walk past, and there's the premier doing a live by herself, no police, and he just happens to walk past her, and they happen to have an altercation.
Yeah. It's like that with those marches for the immigrant. You know, they labelled them immigration marches, but government overreach marches. I called it the March of the Normies, right? So I went to the one in Perth. I think the first one, and I was thinking, oh well, this is good, you know. But it didn't have the same lovely, beautiful, chaotic vibe of the anti-vaxxer, you know, the Salt of the Earth marches. But they were all there with their flags and that. There was a few speakers, and then the speakers were due to march up the street from the park there in Perth, and the speaker said, "Oh, look, we've been asked by the police not to march yet." And then I watched them usher in these group of Nazis with their like Nazi banner, and then the police like ushered them through, and they started marching, so they were leading the march, and then all the normies started following, you know, like shit, because it started, right? It started marching. There's these Nazis goose-stepping up the front that look suspiciously like police, Michael, but, you know, fucking, you know,
I need some extracurricular activity, you know, you got to have some extracurricular activity. You know?
Yeah. Would you like some overtime? Oh, yeah, what is it? Well, all you got to do is dress up like a Nazi and goose-step down Hay Street. Oh, I'm in. Double time. So, needless to say, I saw that and I thought, well, fuck this, I'm going to the pub. So I didn't march.
We're moving on. Let's move on now to digital ID. First off, before we do, what is your view of the serious concern of farting cows that we have to inject them with a no farting vaccine? Are you for that? Or are you can't even say it with a straight face, or are you against it?
Am I for it? Well, it sounds perfectly reasonable to me. I mean, look, basically, Michael, I'm for anything that makes Bill Gates happy. You know, he's a philanthropist. He loves humanity. If he wants to inject fucking cows with a poison that turns the milk into a fucking toxic sludge that kills the babies, as long as he makes a few billion out of it, that's the main thing. So, yeah, I'm all for it.
He's a giver. You know, he set up a creche on Epstein Island. That was very nice of him. You know what I mean? Yes, but let's move to digital ID. What is your thoughts on digital ID? Are you for it? Do you think it's going to make your life easier? Because, you know, basically you don't have to worry about privacy anymore because the government knows everything about you. Or are you a bit reluctant to hand over your life details?
Everything they do appears to be following the Nazi playbook. Ironically, they call us Nazis.
Yeah.
And when they were cataloguing the Jews, IBM came up with a punch card system. So they knew where they all were, and they knew you know how many there were, where they lived, etc., etc. And it could be read very quickly by like a primitive computer. And they used those cards to ghettoise them, right? And then from the ghettos, they took them to the camps. This is just a high-tech version of that system, right? This is, if we allow digital ID to become essential for life, we're fucked. It's a life and death situation. So I won't be doing any of it. I don't give a fuck if I lose every fucking dollar I got, my house, my fucking underpants, and my cock falls off. I'm still not getting a digital ID. They can fuck off. So that's my answer to that.
Okay, that seems you
Yeah.
seem pretty. You're
Seems
pretty sort of
reasonable.
set. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
fair
pretty
enough.
set. Yeah, I think there's a bit of an element of doubt there, you know. But
I
no,
don't.
I'm pretty.
Interesting here though that, like, I'm seeing in England, they're really firing up in England about it. You know what I mean? They're trying to push it. I saw something, I don't know if it's true, but Keir Starmer is saying every child born will have to have a digital ID, and if the parents refuse to get one, they'll take the kid off the parent, and the state will raise the kid.
Yeah,
Now, there's so much
yeah.
happens on the internet now. You don't know. That's AI trying to get me enraged, so I watch more shit. It's not actually true. But I share it because I can't stand Keir Starmer. I put it on Twitter, and people go fucking nuts about it. And so, great, it's your
I
propaganda,
think
but
that
it's helping our cause. So I don't give a shit.
I think that was from the. I think that was in the newspapers. So I think
okay.
that was.
It's great, but it's
Yeah.
insidious. I mean, literally,
Oh
what
look,
we're seeing is you read 1984 and went, "Holy shit," and they read 1984 and go, "Hey, this is good." It's like an IKEA manual, you know. There's fucking it's this insane. It's two
yeah.
different views. And I saw one guy going on yesterday in the comments. He said, "What's wrong with digital ID?" You know, I think it's and you don't even want to give them an answer. You're just going to, you know.
They're
So
out of
yeah.
control. I had nearly $10,000 seized off me just before Christmas for refusing to give biometrics, and I couldn't access my own money.
Well,
And
tell us the whole story. Is this from a bank or what?
yeah, so what it was. So I've been working for the last like 5-6 years for a retired farmer. He's got lots of properties, and I look after all his stuff. And he always used to pay me with. He's really old fashioned. He paid me with a checkbook. And last year they stopped checks, and trying to get paid. It's like 6 months, you know, since I've been paid, you know, because he's got no checks. So I downloaded the Square app, right, which is tap and go. Then got his credit card and tap that and get the money. And so that worked for a while. And then in December, I tapped like $9,500, whatever, and immediately got an email from Square saying, "We need to verify who you are before we can release this payment to your bank." You know, and it will be quarantined. The money will be quarantined until it's reviewed on the 17th of January. Right, it's right before Christmas. Just took my money. So I got onto the chat on the app and said to them, "Listen," because I'd looked at what they wanted. They wanted facial recognition.
Yeah.
And I got on the chat and I said, "Look, there's no way I'm doing this. You already know who I am. You don't need to verify who I am, because I had to verify who I was when I opened the account, right?
Yeah.
And I've got the same number and the same email. You know, this is bullshit. I'm not doing it. So you can cancel the transaction and close my account." "Oh, we can't do that. You'll have to wait for the review," you know? So I'll get in the app again. I'm looking in the app, and there's an option to refund money, to refund a payment. So I did a refund, the money back onto his card. Then I'll get another email saying, "Oh, your request for a refund will be reviewed in 7 days." So I got in touch with the financial complaints authority or something, the Australian body, government body, and I spoke to a lady on the phone. And I told her what happened, and she said to me, "They did the same thing to me, but the bank I've been with for 30 years froze my funds until I gave facial recognition." And I said to her, "This is just like the vaccine. This is just like the vaccine mandates, isn't it? You don't have to do it.
No.
But if you do, hang on.
You there? You frozen? We frozen?
Yeah. Am I back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
And she agreed with me. She said, yeah, she said, I work for the Financial Complaints Authority. They did it to me. And it's exactly like the vaccine mandate, she said.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't do it, we're going to ruin your life and exclude you from society.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So anyway, eventually I got the money.
Stories. Do you know what I mean? Like I did one young guy's MyGov got hacked. The story went apeshit. There's another guy wants to come in, how his life has been destroyed because his MyGov has been hacked. He can't get into it. They don't care. They just want compliance. Just comply.
Yeah.
Just give in. And they don't realize that there is a group of Australians, a group of human beings who don't like being fucking bullied. We learned that in school. If you've been bullied, you don't comply. Otherwise, you'll never see your lunch money.
If you look at this from the perspective of a democide, like you said earlier on, they don't give a fuck about anything about it. They're just gonna print money and do outrageous shit until we're all fucking dead, and then they're going to emerge like into this wonderful safari park of a world, you know, and have it all to themselves. You know, they could have killed the next Mozart, right? The next Picasso in that last round.
Yeah.
All the things that they enjoy, fine art, music, champagne grown in a particular region, whatever, you know, all the fine things in life. They're killing all the people who create that. And they think they're going to have this beautiful utopian world with them in charge, and the world is a safari park, and fucking wild deer and wolves coming up to their door, and they're going to, they're fucking nuts. They're nuts. They're just so full of hatred. They think that what they're all going to get along.
Nebraska. Yeah. It says, look at this. We've got Metal Mouth. G'day, Metal Mouth. It's almost 4 a.m. here in Omaha, Nebraska. Hey, that's really cool that you're from Nebraska. Hey, I'm in. I actually don't know where the fuck I am. Where are we? We're heading to Broken Hill, so we're near a river, and central west New South Wales. And Simon here is in Perth somewhere. And if you want to know where he is exactly, just call ASIO. They've probably got his details.
Yeah, bucket.
Yeah. Now, let's move to another subject, because I played your song first. I'm going to go out with your song. Now, how long have you been a muso, and what got you into music?
I just picked up a guitar when I was about 16. And
you could do it. You could hear the tone.
Yeah, I've just been playing ever since. Yeah, but I've always been more of a songwriter than a performer. I do perform, but it's, you know, it's not something that, to some people it's like their lifeblood. But
yeah,
to me, I find playing other people's songs in pubs to drunk people bit boring, you know, unfulfilling. I'd much rather be creating, you know, songs,
100%.
writing.
100%.
Yeah. So that's what. But there's lots of different types of musicians. You know, there's people who play for the Philharmonic, and they can sight read music, but they can't play by ear or write anything. And there's, you know, you go to the Philippines, and there'll be a little guy in the bar who can play Jimi Hendrix better than Jimi Hendrix, but he can't do anything else, you know. And then and then
on a guitar he made himself.
Yeah, and then you've got guys who are not particularly talented musicians, but are great. You know, like people like Johnny Cash. I mean, he's not a great guitar player by any means, and not a great singer, but people love him anyway. That's the curious thing about. That's the curious thing. I love him too. But that's the curious thing about music, is that it stands on its own merits, whether it's a virtuoso or a 5-year-old singing a song.
Yeah.
You know, it's got its own.
I think the best example is Dylan. See, I listen to copious amounts of Dylan, and you got to admit he's not the greatest singer, but you think he's not the greatest singer. He's not the greatest singer when you think of, you know, the great singers. But man, he can tell a story. He can
Oh, yeah.
really,
I
you
love
know,
Dylan. I mean, I love him.
and it's the same with Johnny Cash. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He just holds you. He just grabs you, and you just sitting there, and they just get in. Leonard Cohen's another one. You know, that's a big
Yeah.
fan of Lenny. You know, and
To me, I love songwriters. You know, I
yeah,
love people who write a good song. Yeah.
Towns Van Sant is one of my favorites. He's
Who?
an American. Towns Van Sant. He wrote
I
a song called
don't know.
Pancho and Lefty. He's they said he was like the down south of America's version of Dylan. He's not as good as Dylan, but he wrote some beautiful stuff. And he used to go around just singing his own songs, and he'd be crying to them in the bars. Look him up, Towns Van Sant, and it's just the stories he told were just. I love
I know
stories. I just love
the
stories.
song. I know the song Pancho and Lefty.
Yeah, that was his biggest hit. Yeah.
Yeah, Dylan's done a version of it, and Willie Nelson too.
Willie Nelson. Yeah, I haven't heard Dylan's version, but yeah.
Yeah,
But there's
it
some
was
great poetry
it was,
in it, you know? There's some great
yeah.
poetry in it. There's some
But
poetry that doesn't make sense, and when Dylan does this, it's a line that doesn't make sense, but somehow it does make sense on some other level. I understand it, you know. It's the greats do that, you know. You're thinking, wow,
yeah.
and they're the lines you remember, even though you don't actually know what he's talking about.
He's a fucking genius. The guy's a
I went
genius.
to see him. His crappy concert. I went to see him in Melbourne, and everybody was walking out. It was just a huge swathe of people walking out. So about a third of the audience walked out, and he didn't give a shit. And then he finished, and we all gave him a standing ovation. I gave him a huge standing ovation. Why? Because that mate is Bob Dylan, and I've been in the presence of Bob Dylan. I am blessed because this man is effing genius, off the scale genius. You know.
Yeah, I've seen him about 5 times.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would go and see him again.
All the songs. Everyone sits there going, they just want to hear the songs, and he won't do it. And then he's like halfway through a song, and you go, "Oh, this is times are changing," and everyone's trying to sing along. It's such a weird way. No one can get the note. They're all pissed off. Just sing the damn song.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, he does strange versions, and you think you're halfway through, and you think, oh yeah, all right, okay. yeah, he's good. But I love your song. I love your songs, mate. I love your songwriting. Great.
Oh, it's just poetry, mate. It's just AI puts music to the poetry. But that song you did is an AI version of one of your songs. So you're a muso. Everyone's musos are scared of AI, they hate it, but you're actually a long-time muso, and you're embracing it. And why is that?
Yeah, so to me, it's just another tool. So look, people don't realise, but if you want to record a song like that quality, you're looking between 10 and 20 grand.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. To go into a studio, you've got to manage a bunch of musicians, which is like herding fucking cats, right? It's a fucking nightmare. They're all insane, narcissistic, egotistic fucking loons, and who just love to sabotage you and your work. So that's yeah, apart from that, they're great, right? But it costs a lot of money. So
yeah, huge.
So what I've been doing is I've got all this back catalogue of songs that I've written that have like just withered on the vine because they've never been recorded. So I just sit down and record myself singing them with acoustic guitar, upload them into the AI, into Suno, and you can go into the settings, advanced settings, and get it to do like a faithful cover. So it doesn't interpret it too much. It follows the melody of the vocal and the guitar, but of course it adds the full rhythm section in and whatever else you want. I mean, if you want banjo and fiddles in it, you can get it to do that. And so you get then basically you've got that track with the AI interpreting your voice, which is what you played, right? So that's full AI. But then the stage I'm at now is I can then get that track, download the stems. So I've got all the tracks individually, right?
Yeah.
I could keep the rhythm section and play the guitar myself, right? And I could put my own vocal on it and back into the track, remix it, and then it's Simon O'Rourke guitar and vocals with AI rhythm section.
Yeah.
And you've got a studio quality track. Now that, when it's different if you're successful, but when you're just a jobbing muso like me, I can't afford to go to the studio and spend 20 grand to produce a track. So it's the way of getting your music out there, and also for like people like you who are not a musician per se.
No, the only instrument I play is in my pants. There's no other instrument I can play at all,
Well, it gives you a chance to make music. So what's wrong with that?
I love it.
It's great. I mean, I love that Lucky Country song. When the first time I heard it, I thought, fuck, this is great. It hooked me straight away. That's the hallmark of a great song, is if it becomes imprinted on your memory after the first hearing, it's really good, So
well, I have to tell you one of the history of that song. Ben Antoniadis, before he decided he didn't like me, he did a cover of it, which was great. But we can't use it now. But going back further, I was going to muso after muso going, listen to these lyrics, and I'd sing it, and I'm not a great voice, but I'd say it goes like this. And they'd go, they loved it, but none of them would touch it.
I don't understand why.
They would not touch it. This is Melbourne, and I think it's challenging. These are fucking musos, mate. It's your job to challenge society. You're an artist. You're supposed to hold up a mirror to society and go, you sure you want to do this? You sure you're happy with this? I used to get in trouble in the theater because I used to say theater, basically you got to grab them when they come in, and I used to watch the audience. I used to sit there in the corner and I'd watch the audience to see if they shifted around. I think, okay, obviously there's something boring in that piece. We've got to fix it up. But basically, to me, I wanted the audience member to come in and get blown away, have their life changed. We're not decorators, we're artists. It's a really important job. And you don't have to, anyone can do it. Like, look at that guy in America with Rich Man north of Richmond. On his last bucks, committing suicide because nothing's happening, he writes one song and he takes over the world. And the song was so powerful that the rich embraced it, knowing we got to embrace this song because otherwise it'll come back and kick us in the ass. That is the power of that song. Is that the guy with red hair?
Is that the guy with the ginger beard? Is that the guy with the ginger beard? That guy.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Someone will put in the comments what his name is, but I'm a huge fan of his. And I just love stories in songs because right now humanity is under attack. They want us all to think the same. And I know we look the same, but because when I was bringing up the picture, Kelly needs glasses, and she looked at your picture, she says, "Is that you?" No, he's much more handsome than me, taller, better looking. And
we've got that Celtic warrior elder look. But
the thing is, this is what we need. And this whole 5 years, apart from 5 times August, the music is coming from our community, from Matt Finlay and others, and coming through. Where are the artists? They joined a thing called Vaccination. They all got on a thing and said, let's do what the government says. Because how did that happen? How did that happen? And it's realizing worse than that cleverly, without us even knowing, Tom McDonald. Now, Tom McDonald's a great artist. Cleverly, without us even knowing, the government, through the grant system and everything else, has been sanitizing art. That's why when I was doing theatre in Victoria, we'd go to tour and we call a theatre and they go, yeah, we got a play. They go, look, we don't care what the play's about. Do you have funding? And we go, yeah, we got some funding. And they go, we don't need funding. We can do it. And then they go, is any gays in it? Lesbian? We can't have it on unless there's a lesbian in it. They'd say that. They didn't give a fuck what the play was about.
You should say not only
what the play was about, And I've got nothing against lesbians and gays at all. I mean, I've worked with them most of my life. The thing was though, this was how they were controlling culture.
Mm.
And this is what they were doing. They'd only fund stuff that people didn't,
Mm.
and no one was coming to see their stuff. And
No.
I was invited to this gathering. Sorry if anyone's heard this before. Invited to this gathering to do of all the theatre owners in Victoria, some in New South Wales, some in Perth. And they wanted, one Perth was in Mandurah, I think. They had a question for them. They wanted to do a speech. And I thought I was a minor speaker because they never actually reached out to me. I turned out to be the featured speaker. And what they wanted to know is what we were doing right, because we had audiences. And we
Yeah.
went woke. We just did stories, and the story was the most important thing. And the actors were there to tell the story. That was their job. Not to promote wokeism, not to promote this, just to tell an effing story in a search for who we are as humans right now. And so they get me up there, and before me, every other speaker was like this. So we've been getting the Indigenous population down, and they've been doing with the local other people, and this, and they'll pay, oh, you're so good, and that's how. And I was sitting there going, and then as I realised I was the featured speaker, and everyone they come up and they go, here's a bottle of wine, thank you for doing a great presentation. And then the main guy introduces me, and I'm thinking, holy fuck, and he goes about, oh, Michael, we've got Michael here because we've been pulling Michael, and he gets me up and says, Michael, one of you could answer a question here. We've been pouring millions and millions and millions into theatre to these people, and nobody's coming, and you don't get any particular funding from us, and yet you're filling theatres and living as a playwright. I wonder if you could fill us in of what you think is happening. And I said to him, I swear to God, I said, can I have that bottle of wine now? Because you're probably not going to give it to me afterwards. And he was like, huh? And I got up and I said, okay, you know what the problem is? The problem is you. You're boring. We're artists. We're meant to be punks. We should be rattling the foundation of society and getting people up, yeah, like one flew over the cuckoo's nest. Not being propaganda artists for the government. Now, there was about 40 people there. Half of them were fucking furious at me, and they just hated me. But the other half, mainly blokes, were going, I think what Michael said is the most brilliant thing we've ever heard. So I did get me a bottle of wine, but I was never invited back. And we never got to go to these theatres. They didn't want us there. And I realized they're controlling art. They put art down, but what they really know is if you want to get people moving, if you want to get them fired up, if you want to get them to remember how human they are, art is the way.
Yeah.
Tell stories. You have someone dies you might never read a poem out in your life until your father dies, and then you get up at the eulogy and you write and you speak, if my father said this to me when I was young, and you read the poem if, or something else. And that's it. Poetry is one of the greatest tools. I know you'll relate to this. It's one of the greatest tools for uncluttering your soul.
Yeah.
Because you can get all this sitting there, and you get a right poem, and even if you can't unclutter it, you can still make flowers from the shit of a situation. You go, yeah, it's bad. My girlfriend left me. I feel like shit, but man, I got this great song. It's a great tool for all of us. You don't have to be. This is why we always should be creating. A lot of cultures, they don't even have a word for art because everyone's allowed to create. Just create is normal. But, here it's like, oh, it's a hobby. What's your real job? But your real job's being a sheep ready heading to the abattoir. Well, do a few doodles on your way there. We are creative
I love
beings.
it when some dealer breaks my heart because they fucking write some great songs.
Exactly. No one writes. How many great songs you listen to about someone going, yeah, I'm really happy. Everything's pretty good. Pretty content, my girlfriend's pretty good and kids are good. Everything's good.
But Michael, do you think you could just squeeze one little lesbian in there? Maybe a midget one. Just like slip it in for your next play.
Maroon actually has a gay guy in it. One of the youngest guys is gay. But that was based on a real story. I met this guy. He told me his story where his family, this incredible story. So his family moved to Bendigo, somewhere around Bendigo, I think. and they built their own church and a whole like a community, and they hated homosexuals. Homosexuals were agents of the devil set out to destroy humanity. And his father was the parish, whatever, his father was the spiritual leader. So this guy grows up and he hates gays. And then when he gets about 14 or 15, he realizes he is gay and he can't tell anyone. And then eventually he decides, I'm gay. I'm not evil. I'm not an agent of the devil. I'm going to confront my people and say, listen, I'm gay and I'm not. And he was their only son, and they cast him out.
Oh, really?
They cast him out. He actually went back. They cast him out again. And I said, can I use that in a play? And so if you see the play Maroon, this character, you only know their names, their statistics, because they've all committed suicide and failed. And then they're stuck in this waiting room, can't figure out why they're not going back. And they've got to open up. And this his number is 134, so you never know his name. But that's the power of it. And the power of it is the family going, as we did with COVID, the family's going, love is not enough. There's something more important to the family than love. So they cast out their only son because he likes dick instead of vagina. It's ridiculous.
He likes a cock.
Yeah. So what if you look, to me, growing up, I liked the gays because, to be honest, they were far better looking than us. The women loved them. They had great bodies. They just looked, a lot of them looked fucking amazing.
They're a good laugh.
Luck to the girls. If you wanted a bit of fun, you got to come to the Fuglies. Because we didn't get those genes, but we like spreading our genes. You know what I mean? And to be honest, this is a real truth. This is a real truth to anyone. They put down white, mature males everywhere, and they put down heterosexuals. They portray that. But everything you see in this country, everything you see in the world, everything you see in this country, from a nail to a hairdryer, if it wasn't for heterosexuals, you'd have none of it, because we bred all the people that invented that shit.
Yeah.
We are the creators of society. So you've got to start treating us with some goddamn respect. Just because you don't like the way society's going, this is us. You can get all the trans people and all those people together, and they will not build a society that lasts past one generation.
The guys have fucked themselves up anyway. I mean, when I was growing up in the 80s, they were on the fringes of society. It was like something dangerous and risky, and like they had their own culture. And now they got child support cases and fucking they're in family court. They fucked it for themselves.
That's right.
I don't understand that. I'll never understand.
I think the trans movement, to be and look, my Anna is a trans woman. I'm good mates with her, and she's been trans for 30 years. She goes, there is no trans community. We don't hang out. We don't talk to anybody who's trans. We just don't. It's a myth. But what they're doing now, this is what I think they're really doing. And Miss Lister, who we've had on, says this. She's lesbian now, living up in Byron, I think. And she says they're wiping out the gay community because they go to the kids who are probably, one girl's a lesbian. And let's be honest, they're born that way. They're born that way. I remember being at a Christmas and someone very dear to me said, gays aren't gay. They're just doing to insult God. And I was eating Christmas dinner. I said, I can't say who said it, but I said, listen, love, you don't take your dick up her ass unless you like it. I'm sorry. and it didn't go very well, but it's the truth. And so we're going there, and what they're doing is eradicating. We all grew up with people who are gay, and we knew they were gay. We knew they have a right to be. That's the way they're created. Who knows why they're created that way? Who cares? They're right that way. They're right to pursue happiness in any way thing. But this trans thing in the schools is getting in and going, you're not really gay. You're a girl. Yeah. You're not really gay. You're just a boy. Let's transition you, sterilize you, and you'll be in the right path. And
they're eunuchs. They become eunuchs. They can't have sex.
That's right.
They can't. Have you seen what they do to the girls? They got this
scars.
They ring bark their wrist, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And then they sew it into like a fucking Cumberland sausage, and sew it onto their urethra, and you just got like none of the muscles and that. It's just like it just dribbles out of this fucking flaccid sausage, right?
I know.
And then they go, "You're good to go now. You're a guy."
I know.
It's fucking, it's so
Yeah, I know.
barbaric.
Mind blowing, and also, I mean, look, to be honest, a dick's very handy when you're out in the bush. You need a slash. A dick is very handy. I had a 100-year-old woman say a joke to me once years ago. I was doing Meals and Wheels voluntarily. I wasn't on crime release or whatever. I actually just was volunteering, and this was years ago. And she said to me, Did you hear about the little boy and the little girl at the picnic? And the boy went off to have a wee, and the girl looked down and said, That's a handy thing to bring to a picnic." He's 100 years old. And the thing is, I was like 16. I was like, But the thing is, like, take balls, right? Now, to me, I'd be happy once you've had enough kids. I'd be happy if they withered and fell off, because walking around with two sort of,
Yeah,
how would you say it, super sensitive avocados down there, it's a pain in the ass. You know what I mean? So, they want to transition, but this thing, I don't know where. Anyway, we're running off the target here. But the thing is, I think it's vile. I think it's
it is.
evil. If you want to
It's cruel.
transition, wait till your 20s, and then have a really good think about it, some therapy to make sure. And if you have gender dysphoria, good luck to you. But stay away.
Well, what's wrong with being a lesbian? I mean, I don't get the choice. You can be a lesbian and have a sex life with women, or you can get disfigured and not be able to have sex at all. It doesn't make sense to me.
It's awful.
But what do I know? I'm just a
now
middle-aged
they're trying to push
white
that if we heterosexual males don't date trans women, then we're transphobic. Fair enough. I'm transphobic. I'm not dating a fella. I'm not dating a fella who's been renovated. Sorry, not my thing. I like him, good friends, and I wonder what it's like, but not enough to actually, go out on a date.
Not to take the plunge. You don't want to take the plunge.
You don't want to dip in the water. You don't want to put your foot.
So you're a transphobe. You're a transphobe, Michael.
This is where we are. They're dividing us. They're just trying to shame us. Like, just for being human, just for having an opinions. This is why it's so important that someone like you comes on. You've been incredible tonight, Simon. And if some people don't like what you say, well, and that you've offended some people, tough fucking luck. Get over it. Sticks and stones. I hurt your bones, but names will never hurt you.
That's right. That's right. And I don't think that I'm saying anything particularly outrageous. It's just fucking, common sense.
Common sense. This is what I think we are, Simon. I think we're common sense protectors. I think common sense is what they're after. One of my dogs uses my nuts like a launching pad to jump. Oh my God. I'm going to see that all night, Jason. Thanks very much. Stuck in my head now. I hope it's not a Great Dane. Anyway, there's a where were we? Where were we before Jason rudely interrupted us?
Trannies.
What's that? No, we've moved on from trannies. No, common sense protectors. This is what I'm telling everyone. So we've got three symbols. 832 is what we want. We want the truth to set us free. We'd actually like to spend a little bit of time on the planet, just a little bit, where we knew what the fuck was going on. So 2 is the blue bee is us. It doesn't live in a hive. It doesn't follow a queen, but it likes to be a part of society. So it wants to be an active part of society, but think for itself. Hello, that's us. Not sovereign citizens. We're just people. And then, but I think to unite us all is to go, we are all, and our goal here is to defend common sense, because that's what they want. Because once you give up common sense and you let someone else tell you what's right and wrong, you're a slave.
Well, that's what they're after, isn't it? I mean, they're criminalising free speech and anything outside of the narrative. They're I mean, Jesus Christ! I grew up in the 70s and the 80s. I mean, it's like, how the fuck did we get here? I mean, it's just unbelievable, isn't it? Really, when you think about it. You
Yeah, I
know,
did. They were great times, but it was simpler. You know, I say to people all the time, my community's probably bored of hearing me, but you remember we go to the tip. Do you remember that? You go to the tip, you could run around to the tip in bare feet. You bring home more than your father took, and he'd be losing his shit. But then you go and jump in the river off the bridge, and
yeah,
he'd send you there, jump off the river, and all these things. No, now, like we're next to this river now, we found a way to hide away. We've got a real great freebie tonight, but it's on off road. But everywhere we go, no camping, no camping. We got all this fucking space. And they're like, no
yeah.
camping, no camping. Why can't we camp? We're Australian. This is our land. That's our state forest. Why can't we camp? Whose business is it of yours? We're not disturbing anything. We were on a river last night, and Kel, she's got to do this post. She's a beautiful. You up to? No, she won't be up to telling. Anyway, so we're looking for caravan parks, and because it's Christmas, this era, they're way too expensive. We just can't afford it. And so
Yeah.
we found this freebie, and it was just full of people, row after row of caravans along this river. No signs saying no camping, no signs telling you what to do, no police coming down, no council workers coming down, making sure we are all, abiding by whatever statute. We were all separate, and there was no fighting. No one was doing anything outrageous. Everyone just got on. You leave Australians alone, and we just get on. We like being alive. We respect each other. We're a really good, decent people. That's what I feel
Oh,
underneath.
look, I came here in 1991, and it was a real, it was a different place to the rest of the world, and a real, like, larrikin. The Crocodile Dundee thing wasn't that far off of your
No,
your average Aussie that you'd meet in the pub. Like, would be a
Americans
cheeky,
everywhere.
cheeky bastard, like, funny as fuck. And
Yeah,
everybody took the absolute piss out of each other. Everybody
yeah,
gave you shit, and nobody cared. And it was all prawning in the river and beach culture, and it was, you're getting invited to Barbies round the pool every fucking night. Now it's a third world shithole.
yeah,
It's fucked.
yeah.
It's just fucking homeless people everywhere in Perth. I mean, I live in Bassendean,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah, I know.
you're from Midland, aren't you? Well, you were in
Oh,
Midland.
Midland. I lived a few places, Frio, and then I was married to another woman. She was a really lovely woman, but it fell apart. That was in not Maylands, somewhere near Maylands. I can't remember.
Oh,
Anyway, there's yeah, it's all a bit
I
of a
was in
blur.
Frio. I was in Frio too. But like,
Frio was great.
Bassendean's full of homeless people now.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
we
it's
went to this town today. What was that town we went to? Dubbo. And the river is just full of homeless people. And a woman came to meet us. I'm going to talk about her in a rant coming up. But she said the town is getting so overcrowded with new immigrants, Indians, and this migrant. It's not putting them down, but it's not immigration, it's mass migration.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
and so she said that, you go to a gym class, it used to be a couple of Indians, now it's mostly Indians. And the only place where the Indians haven't taken over is the homeless. The homeless are all white people and Aborigines.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the same. It's the same in Bassendean. Every other face is Indian. So my family on both sides is Irish, but on my mother's side, they spent 3 generations in India, because my great grandfather went out to India to fight in the Sikh wars, and they
Oh, yeah.
stayed.
Wow.
And he's buried in Sakur in Pakistan. And when in the 1950s, my granddad had to move to the UK because they had to make a choice whether they were going to be Indian or British. And they were forced to go back to the UK, but they had to leave all their wealth behind, right, which was a substantial amount of money, right?
Wow.
Gone, right? And now I've seen my so they were in Birmingham. So I was born in Birmingham. I spent a lot of my childhood in Birmingham, although I didn't live in Birmingham. And I saw our street where my nan lived was all what they call Birmingham Irish. Every kid was called Declan, Sean, Patrick, right? It was all Birmingham Irish. I tell you what, Michael, now you can't walk down that street as a white man. You get your head kicked in.
Wow.
There's a mosque at the end of the street. It's just, it's like, I looked at the demographics recently. It was like in the 90% foreign and 70% was Pakistani, right? So I've seen it play out throughout my childhood. The slow, like, replacement of the culture.
Culture destruction. It's a destruction of the culture.
Yeah, it's a destruction. It's like the East End of London, that's gone. Pie and mash, fucking pearly king, pearly queen, up the elephant round the castle, or the Sweeney, fucking only fools and horses. It's gone. It's fucking gone. They've all fled. The remaining whites have fled to Essex. It's Pakistan now, the East End of London. Right?
Can you imagine going to Pakistan as a white community going, we're going to set up our own community here, mate? You know? Get these mosques out of here. It's going to be Christians and whatever we do, they wouldn't stand for it. They go, F off. They wouldn't stand for it. But we're allowing our entire cultures to be destroyed and transformed into where we have a great chance of becoming second-class citizens in our own country. And you see that with the homeless people.
Oh, yes. Look, they're out to get us. But you're just saying that. There's a load of shorts, I think on Facebook or YouTube, of this little ginger young Scots guy in his kilt and all the gear and the bagpipes, and he goes, we're culturally taking over Pakistan. He's in fucking Pakistan, like getting on the train. Pakistanis like staring at him with his mouth open. He's over there taking over Pakistan. So it is happening. The pipe flows both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, I think, like, I'm an immigrant in this country, and this is what people are saying, oh, yeah, anti-immigration. We're not anti-immigration. We need immigrants, and we need immigrants from bring all the cultures together, meld them in. I bet there's lots of people from Europe would love to come, even Americans. It'd be great to have some Americans here. But this is different because this is culturally different to us. Oh, my God, thank God you're wearing pants.
Just get a cider. Oh, get the cider first.
And they don't care. They don't care. These politicians that are doing it, they've grown up in this country. They're Australians, and they don't care. They just don't care. And that's what I get flabbergasted about. They don't care that they've vaccinated the country mostly against its will. They don't care there's all these people injured and dying. They don't care that there's a lot of people now can't afford to heat their house or cool it.
They don't care because they're out to get us, Michael. They're out to get us. It's warfare.
Yeah,
it's psychological warfare.
That they don't care, and yet,
because you know what, they don't care.
Everyone wants to know. Should I tell the story? Everyone wants to know. We've had a story about my phone today, but look, it was just that Indian guy was crook. I don't think most Indian guys aren't that. It's just this Indian guy was a thief. But yeah, it's a really strange. But now we've got a trouble. See, now we've had a good old white man whinge. One thing I said, to me, and this is what Cafe Lockdown is based on, and I've always tried to do this, although it gets hard. Is a young woman, sorry everyone has heard this, a young woman said to me early on in the marches, because I was doing speeches and I was sort of, I was good at the speeches. So I was getting a lot of the speeches and that's because of my work. I was a playwright. So I know what I'm doing. Anyway, she said to me, she was a loner like you. She said, I'm a hermit. I'm an introvert. And when the introverts stand up and start talking, you got to take notice because we hate doing it. And she said, Michael, you have a moral obligation not to sell hopelessness, no matter how tight its grip.
Yeah.
And this is where we got to go. And there's hope, brother, in the fact that, and let me finish. There's hope, brother, in the fact that you, with a great voice, have finally said, fuck it, I'm going to speak. And you've come on. There's the hope, because it's been a great show. Yesterday was a great show. Today is a fabulous show. And it's to hear from a mature white male who's just telling it like it is, stripping it down to its fucks, and it's fantastic. I applaud you for coming on, brother. I really do.
Oh, thanks, mate. It's no problem. Anytime. I enjoyed it.
What does everybody think in the audience? What do you think? Is he a keeper? Let's see what they do, because we're a community here. I watch them. They sit there. I'm interviewing people, and they sit there all chatting to each other. Hi, Jan. Hi, this. I feel like say, hey, we got a guest. We got a guest here. They're all chatting with each other, but it's lovely. It's why I love going live with this small little community of people who just want to be human beings, which means we decide we hold on to common sense. That's how we navigate life, and it lets us become who we are.
We just want to be left the fuck alone.
Absolutely. Okay, here we go. Yep. Dan Murphy's a yes. Anne Rieger is a yes. Keeper. Butterfly Heart. Simon is great. Carol, keeper. I enjoyed the chats. It's always a good thing. Leander, 100%. Oh, that's wow. You're kicking it in. He's defo a keeper. You're going to put all these up, Kel? 100% keeper, says Paula. Yeah. Definitely a leper. Oh, no, keeper. Good day from Canada. Carmen Lewis, even the Canadians want you around.
Oh, I love the Canadians. Those Canadian truckers, they stuck it up that Justin Turdo, didn't they?
Yeah. This is Aussie Seeker. I'm homeless over migration jobs. Yeah, you poor thing. I know. It's, yep, all going through. I'm in Bassendean too, Simon. Louise Milligan. Oh, Louise. We're having a dating show coming up. Louise,
oh, no.
Get through.
I'm a confirmed bachelor.
You don't have to marry them, but it's nice.
They can't put up with me. I'm just too fucking difficult.
Oh well, yeah. I know, I'm a bit difficult. I don't know how Kelly puts up with me, to be honest. Yeah, this is great. This is great. I am. I think we will get you on again. I think it's, to me now. I've been telling everyone. Well, I'm not a journalist. What we are now is we speak. We're the ones that are not frightened to speak in a time where the world is falling quiet out of fear. And
they are. Yeah, they are. A lot of people are afraid to talk, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They are. They whisper now. It's like they're killing the larrikins, and that's what you are, mate. You're a larrikin. You know, you might have. It's in you, and it would have been the same in England. He's a lad. That's what it would have been in England. This is it.
I've got a lot of family in Galway in Ireland, and
oh really?
They were all anti-vaxxers. One of my cousin Mary, she likes a drop to drink, and apparently she was running in the shops with no mask on and swearing like a sailor at the people. Which tickled.
Yeah. No, I've got a cousin in Ireland, but he in his street, he said everyone complied. He was the only family that didn't. He told me this great story. He said the neighbor next to him complied first, went out, get everyone vaccinated, and he was telling my cousin, he says, Sean, he says, you're crazy, you're this, you're bad, you're this, and then this guy just up and died. Just got sick and died, and this, and yeah. It's amazing.
He got the safe and effective shuttle to heaven, the elixir of life. Translated it into the afterlife, eternal life he got, as promised by Mark McGowan and Mr. Daniel Andrews.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? And I'm going to call it a night and get thing. Mate, thanks for coming on. I'm going to go out playing your song. Unless you want me to play The Lucky Country, up to you. Your choice.
Well, I missed it when you played it because I wasn't on the first time. So I'd like to hear it on the old internet. My song, if that's all right. Because I haven't heard it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's hear it. It sounds great. So you send me some images. I'll put your photos over the top of it, and this is it. Now, can you tell us? Is this song about a girl you lost, or you just made it?
It is. It's the last woman I fell in love with, the beautiful Rosemary Gonzalez.
Wow,
who was
Spanish.
Spanish. She was 50% Spanish royalty, 50% Aussie bogan. And she used to say the most delightful things to me. Like she would say, I love you and you steal my joy.
How long were you together?
Oh, not long. It was one of those, look, Michael, it's only the cluster B borderlines who fall in love with me, mate.
You don't know that. You don't know that. Can you play both, Michael? Can you play both, Michael? Okay. Well, we might. We'll play the first one first. I was got to see where it is. But I really liked this song. I thought it was really beautiful. And
yeah, so it's all about me.
Yeah. Well, that's it. You're an artist. Who else are you going to write about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I only write about women and booze. That's the two subjects. That's it. What else is worth writing about?
Yeah. Anyway, I have to say we travelled up today from just below Dubbo. We had an incident with my wallet, which you can find out on Facebook. That was pretty funny. And but every time I'm on the road, Cal and I are just wanting to stop and take pictures. We even saw American bison today in a field. You know, American bison.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I looked at them and said, fucking immigrants. Taking over the paddocks. Anyway, g'day, Thelm. And but it's beautiful. This country, and the one thing it has is space. There is so much space. And we've got our community fighting over little parts of bricked up air. It's so much space. You know, you just sit there. We don't even have the radio on. We're just looking at everything. And the space, the vastness gets into you. You love it.
Yeah.
You know, that's why we love Camping Rough here. You know, got the generator going and we're all by ourselves. We'll go out tonight with stars above us, you know. Kel's skinny dipping in the river as usual. It's becoming a habit for her now. And it's just so lovely. You know, we spent a few days the other day with 2 or 3 days where we didn't actually have a proper shower. It was just swimming in the ocean, swimming in rivers. It's great. And this is our country. You know, and everywhere you go, they're fencing it off. They're signs everywhere. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do this. It's like, you know, we even had one sign in this tiny little lay-by, and it said, "You're under surveillance." So I pissed on the sign. I said, "Go here. Here's for your Christmas video." Then I look forward to meeting you when I'm in Perth. We'll be in Perth.
Yeah.
We'll
You'll have to, like I said, I've got a big house, so come round for dinner and stay the night and have a shower.
Yeah. Great. Look forward to it. I look forward to it. Anyway, okay, guys. Now listen. While we got Simon here, if you've been watching or you know someone who wants to speak, and they don't have to even have a story. It's just who are we as a people? They're trying to portray us as sovereign. All the bullshit. We know it. So let's show Australia who we are. Come on, tell your story. And go, yeah, I'm here. I've got a right to be here. And this is my story. Simon, you've done it beautifully. B yesterday did it beautifully. We've had others on doing it as well. And this is what I like. So if you do want to actually add to the protest or to the struggle, one of the greatest things you can add to this struggle where they're trying to make us useless eaters and non-player characters is to show the world who you actually are. Because you're the gift. You're the gift.
I'm an arsehole.
But you're a charming arsehole.
Yeah. That's what my mother said.
You know what my mother said to me? She said to me, I remember once years and years and years ago, shit was going down as it always does in my life. And she said, I said, what do you think's going to happen to me? And she said, you know, Michael, I think you're going to have a very interesting life.
Little did she know.
Little did she know. Good night, everybody. So this is a song. It's called, what's it called again?
The Queen of Spain.
The Queen of Spain, written by Simon, and he does it with AI, but it's all bits and bits. So anyway, here it goes. Queen of Spain and the Lucky Country for Jan. Maybe Jan, Lucky Country coming after it. And something's moving outside my bus. I don't know what it is. Anyway, so good night. Look forward to meeting you, Simon. Thanks for coming on. That was fucking great. Stay in the background. I'll have a chat to you afterwards.
Cheers,
Okay, here
mate.
you go, guys. This is Queen of Spain and then the Lucky Country. See ya. Oh, and Lee is on tomorrow night. Lee. So we'll see you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock with Lee.
The beggar man met the Queen of Spain, drinking in a downtown dive. She'd sold her crown and her wedding gown. She was all broke up inside. So he sang her love songs that he'd wrote. She said she played guitar, she couldn't play a note. So she drummed on the table out of time.
The beggar man, he loved the Queen of Spain as he held her in his arms. She was like a dove with a broken wing. He couldn't do her any harm.
As they slow danced to the radio, to all the songs that she used to know, she sang along flat and out of time. With her Louis Vuitton and her Valium, she had no money to her name. The beggar rocked her in his arms. She was the Queen of Spain. He blew all his dough on a wedding ring, a big gold skull with ruby eyes. But it stayed in the pocket of his old blue jeans, which don't come as no surprise. 'Cause he was just a beggar man. He had no blue blood in his veins. And after all is said and done, she was the Queen of Spain. She was the Queen of Spain. She was the Queen of Spain.
How great is that song, eh? I'm going to play the Lucky Country now for Jan. But listen, if anyone wants to do a cover of this, let me know. I can send you the song, I can send you the lyrics, and I can send you the stems, which means we can send you the music, and you can do a cover version of it if you like. With any of the songs, let us know. And anyway, this is Lucky Country. I'll see you tomorrow with Lee. And on Sunday morning, we've got a new show with John Stapleton, the journalist who was on the other night with Paul Conlon. And he's got some major elder people who have been amazing journalists, amazing activists before our time. And he wants to come on and talk to them. He is an incredible voice, a credible gift to the movement. And so we'll be doing that probably 10 o'clock Sunday mornings. Then we'll do East in the evenings. So look forward to that. But this is the Lucky Country. And most of what's happening in this are true stories that I just turned into poetry. Good night, everybody. And stay frosty. Stay frosty because they're coming. They're coming to bring you down. They're coming to bring you down. So, just if you're ever feeling like you're about to give up, just remember that the instructions of how to fight back are on the end of your finger. You just got to look there and you'll find all the instructions you need to keep fighting. Good night.
Well, when I met Jesus Christ, he was almost 10 years old. And he was helping his mother push a trolley full of all they owned. And because they couldn't find an inn they could get in, they were heading to the city and leaving Bethlehem. Couldn't you perform a miracle? I'm out of them, he said. I tried turning nothing into warmth, but it just made my mother cry. It just made my mother cry. Mary Magdalene has become a man, and tonight he's old, and she has been riding my tram. Now it's late and she's trying to sleep beneath a poster for a bank. Your dreams are important to us as it bathes her face in gold. Come give us your natural gifts, we make a wealth from toil. Come pretend for history's page that we're advancing Australia fair. Let's pretend that we're all advancing Australia fair. Back down the road I found the church we built on the black man's bones was empty, and out the front a sign read all but sold. A sign read all but sold. And we all owe so much money, but to whom we're not quite sure.